How we doing? How we doing? Today is Wednesday, April the 9th, 2025. Just doing a real estate tap in with you for today. So there were a couple of things. Obviously, everybody is continuing to see the back and forth with the tariffs and the trade war that is going on right now. And, a lot of people kind of missed. Different organizations have increased the chances of a recession above 50%, depending on, what you research and who the person is. It could be 60%, it could be somewhere between 50 to 60%, but the overall sentiment is that it's more of a possibility than not. There were a couple of articles that I saw. It says what a recession could mean for the housing market. I'm going to attach the link to the video. When I go live at 12:30, I'll probably go a little bit more in depth into it and kind of read some of the excerpts of it. So if you want to join me at 12:30, I'd appreciate it. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on my Instagram page at Abundant Capital Group. And if you have any questions or concerns, what you can do or maybe what you should be doing in anticipation of this, if you, own real estate or an investor, or if you're a buyer too. So we'll dive a little bit more in depth in that at 12:30. And then also there was another article here that talks about down payments. What's the name of it? It doesn't give the name for whatever reason. But it talked about how the down payments on homes in the Northeast have increased. And I think the average is like close to $50,000. So I'll dig a little bit further, into that as well. Just two things that caught my eye. The second one, because if, I always try to bring this back to seller financing and creating notes, that if you have a property, the average down payment right now that you're getting is about $50,000. Could be more, could be a little bit less, but somewhere in that range. So if you're somebody that has a property and you're looking to sell it, you can anticipate, depending on the price range of the property, about this much in terms of a down payment. People do have this type of money to put down on a property. I think that a lot of times, depending on when you live, where you live, and what you understand about seller financing and creating notes, you may not know that you could get that much down for a particular property. And I say that because a lot of people may have like $200,000, $300,000 worth of equity, but you may not have a place for that equity to go as soon as you sell your home. I know about a personal situation that someone is selling their home, and they're going to take a good portion of their proceeds, but they're not going to take all of their proceeds to then go and move into another property. You'll probably take somewhere about a quarter or half of it to purchase another property. But they're still going to be, what are they going to do with that balance of the money? Is it just going to sit in an account? Where are you putting it? Is it going to be in something that's going to get you the type of return above inflation? Because essentially, if you don't, put it somewhere where it's getting a return above inflation, you're actually losing the value, the purchasing power of that money over time. And this is what you can do. Like if you have a home that has that amount of equity, you could take, maybe 50, maybe $100,000, just depending on, what's the price of your home in terms of a down payment, and then also collect monthly payments. So you've got a good amount of money right now that you're, taking on, and then you can offset some of your expenses because of where you're moving, maybe the cost of where you're moving, just the cost of living. You can offset those expenses, with the monthly payment that you're going to receive because you created this note. And then the third kicker is that there's an unpaid balance that's still owed to you that is something you can liquidate. Let's say in 2 years you need to, pull another $100,000 out to do whatever, whatever it is that you need to do at that particular time. You want to take advantage of an investment, you want to buy a new car, you're retiring, whatever the case may be, you can do that because you have this unpaid balance that you can liquidate for cash, and you don't have to sell the entire unpaid balance at that particular time, just depending on your needs. So, just something that, people really need to look into, especially people, older folks who are looking to sell their property. You've lived there, raised your family. Try to maybe look at this from a long-term investment, into your retirement, or to help, that retirement, your retirement time, help with your expenses and things like that. So, but again, if you want to check me out at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, I'll probably read some of the article and kind of go into it a little bit more in depth. These 2 articles, but they both will be attached to this video. If you have any questions in regards to seller financing and real estate, please post them to this video. We'll get them answered for you. Or you could join me at 12:30 today and ask your question then. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.